What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense. And because the topic that we're about to cover is triggering, we're not going to do an intro, but I kind of want to preface this before we look at the interview. My job here is to bring you guys more of an unbiased opinion. So you'll see me pretty much going in on everybody. And what you're about to see, I see points where Buzbee is being sloppy, and I see points where Jay-Z's attorney is being sloppy and kind of messy. Usually we don't mind messy, but sloppy is something different. So first we're going to look at an interview that just dropped at like 12 a.m. from a Diddy accuser. This one happens to be male. I was kind of surprised that he gave an interview, but we'll get into why I think this interview happened and what I feel is sloppy on both attorneys' parts, because they are filing stuff constantly. So what you're probably going to start seeing is a lot more short videos because things are moving extremely fast. And now there's multiple cases, multiple high-profile people. And I'm trying to keep you guys informed, but it's a lot all the time. So let's first start with the interview. I think that all victims deserve to be heard. Typically, though, you will not see people with active cases give interviews, but I think this interview was a signal.
You were hired by a security firm to work security at one of the infamous white parties that was thrown by Sean Combs in the Hamptons. What was that experience like?
At first, he was incredibly friendly, very gracious.
So you had a friendly chat, and then, according to your lawsuit, at some point later in the night, Sean Combs himself offered you a drink. This didn't come from staff or someone holding a tray of drinks. It came from him directly.
Correct. The first drink started to have some effect on me. And I just thought, wow, these are really strong drinks. It wasn't until the second drink, and it was already too late, that I realized that there was something wrong with the drinks. Sadly, Sean Combs was waiting in the wings. He was watching from some sort of vantage point. And once I was in a helpless position and he was sure that he was in a position of power, then he took advantage of the situation.
You allege that you were forcibly pushed into an SUV by Sean Combs. That act alone, according to your lawsuit, left you in considerable pain. And then once inside the vehicle, your lawsuit says plaintiff was held down by Combs, who overpowered him while he struggled to escape due to the effects of the drugs in his system. And it goes on to say that he sodomized you.
I was screaming. I was telling him to stop. It was incredibly painful. And he was acting like it was nothing. And he seemed to be disconnected from it. But it was abusive beyond belief.
The note says representatives for Combs did not comment, but at the time of the original complaint, released a blanket statement regarding the complaint, and the others filed at the same time. Mr. Combs and his legal team have full confidence in the facts, their legal defenses, and the integrity of the judicial process. So, in terms of the victim, I think it's important that we hear Diddy in his own words on how he feels about partying.
To show y'all how we have fun and stay out of jail too, and make money.
Do I believe that Diddy is capable of this? Absolutely. Do I believe that every victim deserves a right to be heard? Absolutely. Do I believe that this victim did anything wrong by doing this interview? Not if counsel told him to. But once I actually read the article, I feel like Buzbee is sloppy, and I'm about to tell you why. John Doe filed a civil suit against Sean Diddy Combs, accusing him of sexual assault at a white party where Doe was employed by a private security firm. Let's see. Where is the actual article? Okay, I'm going to have to read it from here. Okay. For some reason, On my laptop, it's not showing, but when you actually do it through your phone, it gives you an article attached as well. Let's see. Doe initially filed his complaint against Combs on October 14th, alleging that he was drugged and sodomized by the embattled music mogul at one of his infamous white parties nearly 2 decades ago. Let me see. Doe is the first civil accuser of Combs to publicly speak to the media in an interview. According to his lawsuit, Doe was employed by a private security firm in 2007 when was asked to work for Combs' white parties at the producer's estate in East Hampton, New York. There were a number of inconsistencies between the details shared by Doe in his interview with CNN and the original complaint filed in October. The original suit says the assault took place in 2006, not 2007, and that Doe had never been married. In 2006, Combs' white party was held in Saint-Tropez. In 2007, it was held in the Hamptons, which is where Doe's allegations take place. After CNN pointed out the discrepancies, Doe's attorneys filed an amended complaint with the court, changing those details and acknowledging mistakes were made in the rush to file. This is where I'm saying it's sloppy. Now, do I think for a victim that things might be fuzzy, dates, times? Yes, this was like nearly 20 years ago now. However, for the attorney, you have a whole team of people. And I want to say this, Buzbee is just the head. There are 3 other firms that are assisting in these cases. And with 150 cases, I'm sure they are or have employed an innumerable amount of other attorneys, and they've brought people in. Like, the list is crazy for the amount of attorneys. But this was one of the first cases filed. My question is, why was there such a rush? I can understand when Lil Rod filed, Cassie filed, the first victims. But now we're at a place where Diddy's in jail. You know that your I's need to be dotted and your T's need to be crossed. Why is there such a rush that you don't have a fact-finding team meticulously looking through each one of these to ensure that everything is factual? Because you're going to be going up against major law firms. I can't stress this enough. Sean Carter shares an attorney with Elon Musk. Diddy's attorneys are extremely high profile. They're going to... My concern is for the victims. Just because somebody files a lawsuit does not mean that it will ever make it to court. These lawsuits at this point, most of them are pending. We don't know if a judge will say, okay, this lawsuit is credible enough, you're good to go. Let's set a trial date. We don't know that. So everything needs to be meticulous. And Buzbee is a very high profile firm as well. I can't imagine that he's not scanning over these with his private team to make sure that what they are putting forth is the most factual information. For, like I said, for, a victim to be foggy on the year, okay. For the attorney to have a whole press conference and put forth this as one of the first ones and it not be fact-checked is sloppy. I don't know how else to say it. At this point, I'm talking to survivors and attorneys daily, and we go through both arguments. You kind of have to. One thing that people don't understand is it's not just a trial. These people, if it does make it, they're going to go through mock trials. They're going to have people pick people that are in their employ, pick apart everything that they're saying. That's just how it goes, because once you get on the stand, that's what they're going to do. So I went back and I looked at the amended complaints, and the only thing that changed in the amended complaints was the year. They didn't add anything. This one says 2006. The new complaint says 2007. They added no names, no additional details, just amended it for the year. Again, it's not a major mistake, but the way that Diddy's attorneys are nitpicking everything and the way that Jay-Z's attorneys are nitpicking everything, it could be something that they use. Like, okay, they're just throwing these frivolous lawsuits out. We got to kind of keep an eye open for that. Let me continue, because there was something else that I saw that I think you guys needed to hear. After the alleged assault, he said he struggled to leave the party due to the effect of the alleged drugs in his system and the pain his body was in. Doe then reported what happened to his supervisor, according to his lawsuit. Hopefully, he reported it via email. Speaking to CNN, he said that he was never asked to work for security for the firm again after reporting his alleged abuse by Combs. I say email because that is something that people can have into perpetuity. You can keep an email for 20 years, especially if you have the same email account. So that would be a paper trail, and that would be a direct shot against Diddy. If he just told him, out loud, that could be a problem. He just dismissed it and said, "I'll talk to him," Doe said, recalling a conversation where he told his manager that Combs had sexually assaulted him. After that, he didn't talk to me again. He cut me out of everything. I was totally blacklisted after that. I had to find a different field. Today, Doe no longer works as a security guard. His marriage is also ended as a result of the alleged abuse, he said, because of the trauma he endured that has negatively impacted his relationships. In his lawsuit, he said he has struggled with emotional pain and mental health issues in the years since. For the first time, Doe has revealed that a celebrity witnessed the alleged abuse. Without naming the famous person he recognized, there was one high-profile individual who saw what happened and found it amusing. Here we go. Now we know why he did this interview. I told you guys, I can't remember how many videos ago now, but I told you guys that not everything is going to be included in the complaint. We saw everything in the kitchen sink added to Tyrone Blackburn's complaints, but in terms of Buzbee, they're scaled back. And I think they're scaled back because he's sending demand letters to the other celebrities who aren't being named. So when I looked up the new complaint, I was looking to see if anything about a celebrity having watched or saw or enjoyed it was included, and it's not as of yet. So again, I like to tell you guys what might happen in the future. And I think that what we're going to be seeing is more amended complaints from Buzbee's team or Buzbee's clients that detail stuff with celebrities who have not settled. So I think the rush was partly due to the fact that there are so many lawsuits out there. They're going to go in order. So there may not be anything left. So I do think that's part of the rush, but I also think part of the rush is the settlement request. And with tapes being shopped and everything else, I think Buzbee felt he had to push these out as quickly as possible so that his clients have a better shot of getting something and the settlements to come before names are named. I still feel like whoever he had on the team who did this intake, who vetted this person, and then pushed this out, it was sloppy. Just my opinion. You guys can put in the comment section how you feel. Additionally, these are pre-recorded videos that you guys asked for that are going to be shorter. So definitely hit the like button. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. Let's move on. Who do y'all think that this particular high-profile celebrity is who watched this man, be taken advantage of? I know a lot of you guys are going to say probably Jay-Z. I don't know. It literally could be anybody. This was like 07. So there's a lot of people at these white parties. And I like to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. Now, back to being messy, where I think that Jay-Z's attorneys are messing up. Buzbee filed this yesterday night. It says, "I write on behalf of my client, Jane Doe, as well as on behalf of myself and my firm, in response to several recent improper communications directed to the court by counsel for defendant Sean Carter in the above captioned action. On December 8, 2024, my client filed an amended complaint naming Mr. Carter as an additional defendant in this matter. In conjunction with that filing, my firm filed a renewed motion for the plaintiff to proceed anonymously. Rather than merely oppose that motion, as would be expected and proper, defendant Carter filed the very next day his own motion to deny anonymity and or to dismiss Rule 12B. It appears that defendant Carter made that separate filing, which we believe to be procedurally improper and substantively deficient, to serve as the pretext for defense counsel to submit 2 letter briefs to the court on December 9th and 10th. These letter briefs are frankly nothing short of defamation, hiding behind the thinnest veneer of litigation privilege." So guys, I read these for you out loud. However, I'm with Buzbee here. They are playing this out in the court of public opinion, and they are writing these responses for the public as opposed to doing it procedurally. Buzbee's calling it out. Shout out to Buzbee. Buzbee's going to have to be on his P's and Q's moving forward because Jay-Z's attorneys are not playing with him. It says, except for one sentence requesting an expedited hearing, the letter briefs have absolutely nothing to do with the only pending issue before the court, namely whether my client should be allowed to continue to proceed anonymously. The letters otherwise irrelevant contentions that the amended complaint's allegations are inflammatory and frivolous, as against counsel's plea that Mr. Carter is entirely innocent, are merely press releases dressed as legal filings. I told you guys that they're playing this out for us, and they're going to do everything in their power to discredit Buzbee as a person, as opposed to his actual lawsuits. There are so many filings already just since Jay-Z got named. Counsel's December 10, 2024 letter goes much further and entirely too far by accusing my firm and I of outright unethical behavior that never happened, which I would never sorry, my phone keeps ringing. To be clear, my firm and I categorically deny all of the baseless allegations levied by Mr. Carter and his counsel in these letters. We will respond in due course in due time, through memoranda of law and other appropriate means, to the legal issues at hand, as well as the accusations raised by Mr. Carter and his counsel. We will also address verifiable improprieties committed by defense counsel, outright gotta turn this phone off. Outright illegal conduct for which we have actual evidence rather than vague hearsay declarations. For the moment, we simply want to timely inform the court that such responses will be forthcoming. I don't think that this is on Buzbee. I think that this is on one of Buzbee's partner firms who did not fact check. But I guarantee you there won't be too many more of these slip ups. It only takes one. So we might be seeing more amended complaints soon to make sure that everything was properly vetted, dates and times. Either way it goes. Like the video. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. We're already at like 202,000. So the channel is growing pretty fast. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and definitely put how you feel in the comments section. I know that it's pretty split. Some people feel like it's just a money grab for Jay-Z and he's innocent, but I'm starting to see the majority of people really do feel like Jay has some culpability in some of these things. Some other people might feel that there is truth to the victims, but other people just want Jay-Z taken down. So I got to go because my phone's ringing off the hook. There is another video coming, and it's going to be about Foxy Brown and Jay-Z, and nobody else on the net is talking about this. So it'll be a short video. Additionally, I will link my video that I did last night with more of the crazy stuff that's going on between Buzbee and Jay-Z's attorney. It's pretty messy and ridiculous. You guys have a good day, and I will definitely see you later.